realize that we can be lonely next to God because we can't experience God the way that we were made to until we experience him alongside others. And that is an ode to marriage, but it's also an ode to friendship. When God creates Eve, Adam is now in the kind of communal relationship with God. Of course, we're made in the image of the Trinity, right? He's in the kind of communal relationship with God where now he could walk alongside God the way he was made to. And that's true for us today. Walking with Jesus is essential, but it's also essential that we do it alongside others. So I want to push back on this just me and Jesus narrative and say that we need to walk with Jesus alongside other deep relationships. In the past century, a friend has gone from being something that was just held in the utmost high regard to now something you can do with a click on Facebook. So it's a tough word to use. So I use the phrase covenant friendship as a way to recover, not to invent, but to recover the glory of friendship as the way Jesus described it when he said, I have not called you servants, I've called you friends. And he says the greatest act of love is to lay down your life for a friend. So covenant friendship is an idea of spiritual friendship. It's where you dive into relationship, not just into connections and conversations alone, but where you're actually vulnerable and you're committed. I like to put it like this. A covenant friend is someone who knows you completely and sticks around anyway, because this is exactly what Jesus did for us in his act of friendship for us. On the cross, Jesus said, I know your sin fully. I know all your deepest secrets, but I am here to commit to love, to sacrifice anyway. And when we know our friends fully through repeated conversations and being with them in presence, when we know them fully and they know us fully, and yet we love each other anyway, we're acting out a gospel sort of relationship to each other, a reflection of what Jesus did for us. And I call that covenant friendship. And I really want to speak to men particularly and say that one of the most manly things that you can do, one of the most masculine acts there is to live without secrets, is to be known amongst your friends. I think that everybody, but particularly men, should have one or two other people who know them completely and love them anyway. That's a covenant friend. And I do this with my friends, Matt and Steve, on a regular basis. They know everything about me. I don't have any secrets with them, but I know that they, despite my flaws, stick around anyway. And that makes me feel not just strong, but strong in the Lord. It makes me feel like the man that Jesus was. And I think that's really important for men to hear in our modern moment. Anybody who tries a deep relationship like covenant friendship will very quickly realize that people are flawed, right? Every friendship has two ingredients, a sinner and a sinner. So it's no surprise that we hurt each other. It's no surprise that we let each other down. And I think for men and women, this is particularly important. We have to be ready for our friends to hurt us. We should expect for relationships to be hard, not easy. And that really, when we change that expectation for our friends, it really helps because we're not surprised when our friend doesn't completely rise to the level we hope they will be. We're not surprised when we find out that we've hurt somebody, but rather we realize this is an opportunity for forgiveness. And if you don't practice forgiveness, then any conflict, any argument, or any moment of disappointment is kind of the end of the road for friendship. You need to discard it and find a new one, someone who will, quote, do better. But when you realize that forgiveness is the heart of the gospel and the heart of human life and relationships, then difficulties become the doorway to deeper relationship, not the end of relationship. And I'm not saying this is easy. Nothing important is easy. But this is crucial because if we don't know how to do forgiveness, if we don't practice forgiveness, then we can't do friendship.